let's talk about something that's super common for brilliant, highly skilled consultants, but something we rarely say out loud. You can be an absolute expert in your field, but still find yourself struggling to land those ideal, high-quality clients. Well, this explainer is going to decode exactly why that happens, and, way more importantly, show you the path to fix it for good.
I mean, this statement right here, it hits home for so many independent experts. You know you're good. Your track record proves it. But for some reason, that expertise just doesn't seem to automatically translate into a steady stream of the right kind of projects. It's this really frustrating and often kind of silent struggle. But here's the good news. It's not about your skill level, not at all.
So, okay, if it's not a skill issue, then what is it? Why is there this gap between being fantastic at what you do and being seen as the go-to person? That's the million-dollar question we're going to unpack right now. And the answer lies in something I like to call the skill paradox. All right, so this brings us to the skill paradox. Here's the deal. The problem isn't your capability, it's all about how the market perceives that capability. See, when you're an independent consultant, the rules of the game are completely different than they are for someone working at a big established firm. Think about it for a second. When you're inside a big consultancy, that brand name is like this massive safety net. It does all the heavy lifting for you. Clients see the fancy logo, and they just automatically assume a certain level of quality and capability. But the moment you step out on your own, poof, that safety net is gone. And suddenly, your technical skill on its own isn't what gets you hired. Your positioning, how you communicate your unique value to the world, becomes absolutely everything.
Okay, so if positioning is the real key, why isn't it working for so many people? Well, it turns out most consultants fall into these really common traps that totally unintentionally end up hiding their expertise. Let's break them down. Just take a look at this list. Be honest, does any of this ring a bell? Maybe your message is just way too broad. You're trying to be everything to everyone. Or maybe your LinkedIn profile reads more like a resume instead of being a valuable resource for your ideal client. Or, and this is a huge one, maybe you talk a lot about the tasks you do, the what, instead of the valuable outcomes you actually deliver. Now, none of these things mean you aren't an expert. They just mean clients are having a really hard time seeing it clearly.
And this right here, this brings us to the most critical, game-changing insight of all. There is a fundamental disconnect between what consultants think they're selling and what clients are actually buying. Seriously, getting this changes everything.
Just let this sink in for a moment. They don't hire you to perform a series of actions. They don't hire you to check boxes off a to-do list. That's just the how. It's not the real why. What they're truly looking for is something so much more valuable.
Look at this shift in perspective. You might think you're selling things like bills of quantities or procurement advice, but what your client is actually buying are the outcomes. Reduced risk, fewer nasty surprises. They're not buying your commercial oversight, they're buying clear financial direction. See the difference? They're not buying your toolbox. They're buying the confidence, the clarity, and the peace of mind that your expertise brings them. That is what they truly value. And here is the brutal consequence of not making that shift. When clients can't immediately grasp the unique value and the specific outcome you provide, they don't dig deeper to figure it out. Nope, they just default to the consultant who communicates their value most clearly. You don't lose the job to a better consultant, you lose it to a better positioned one. The person who is more visible and more understandable wins every time. Okay, so how do we fix this? How you go from being just one of many options to becoming the absolute obvious choice for your ideal clients. The good news is, there's a really clear path forward. It's totally doable.
You know, it really just boils down to these 3 core steps. First, you've got to get crystal clear on your niche. Who exactly do you serve and what specific high-value problem do you solve for them? Second, you sharpen your message so it speaks directly to that niche about the outcomes they desperately want. And third, you build a presence both online and off that consistently signals your authority and expertise in that one specific area.
And when you nail this, I'm telling you, something powerful just shifts. Clients don't just see you anymore, they start to trust you before they've even had a conversation with you. And once that trust is there, the whole dynamic changes. They hire you quickly, they hire you decisively, and those awful, frustrating battles over price, they pretty much become a thing of the past, because they finally see you as a crucial investment, not just another cost.
So let's end with this. I want you to take a real moment and think about your own business right now. If a potential client looked at your LinkedIn profile or your website or a proposal you sent over, what would it honestly say about you?
Does it scream expert problem solver who delivers incredible outcomes, or does it kind of whisper skilled technician who performs tasks? Your answer to that question, that's the key to unlocking your next level of success.